Let's see if we can get Coachie's Cherokee over here. Okay, Coachie, stay there. There you are. Cochise. Yep, that is Cochise Cherokee Lee. And he says, I'm out of here. Well, y'all know what cats are like. Wonderful. That's what cats are like. Well, Cochise Cherokee's a sweetheart, and he was purring. But since he decided to leave, I guess that's the end of the live, right? Nah. Maybe Cochise decided to leave because he's a cat and he likes to play. But that doesn't stop the live, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about some of my cats who are dead. Now, keep one thing in mind. The first cat I'm going to talk about died around, I believe she died probably about 1987. That's Coco Courageous, our dog, in the background, barking. But Cochise Cherokee, our living cat, God, thank you, God, for that. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Heavenly Father. He decided to leave, but if you look at the very beginning of the rebroadcast, you'll see him for a second. Now, let me tell you some things about cats that maybe y'all don't know. First of all, I'm Al Torcaso, and I just lost my balance with my left arm, but that's why I'm shaking. Oh, brother. Any rate, let me get down to the business at hand. I am Al Torcaso. I love you spiritually. So, yeah, I love you. And you can text me at 412-559-2731. Now, the things that I'm about to tell you are 100% true. Let me raise my volume. I'm sorry. All right. The things that I'm about to tell you are true. And I don't even have to change the names to protect the innocent. There used to be a TV series that they would make a disclaimer. The names were changed to protect the innocent. Yeah, look it up. It was called Dragnet. It was around before I was even born. It's good. It was a good show, but it was based on true stories. Anyway, back to the cats. So, what you're going to hear about today are some cats that were heroic. Yeah, you're going to hear about two of my cats that literally saved lives through their indirect actions. So forget the talking and start the walking. Now let me get into the stories. My first ever cat was a little baby girl. Unfortunately, I cannot find the digitized pictures of her. She died way back in the 1980s. Now, little baby girl was a hero or heroine cat. No, she didn't take drugs. That's the female version for hero. I don't like the name either, but they call female hero. They don't call them heroes. They don't call the women that. They call them heroines. Why? I don't know. Whoever came up with that must have been taking some actual heroin. I don't know. But let me say hi to Heather here. It does say Heather, doesn't it? Go ahead, Heather. How you doing? Hey, Heather, check this out. Every cat we have or every animal we have, we give a full legal name. Believe it or not, we have a cat. Her name is Heather Sweetheart Torcaso. Yep, just like your name, that's our first name, Heather. Now, getting back to little baby girl. So I got little baby girl. I'm sorry, original baby girl. I got her when I was about 7 years old. And I think she died maybe around 1985, 87, somewhere, maybe even 89. But little baby girl was a heroic cat. We did not know that she was heroic, but she was. So I have to explain the story. So for those of you who are impatient, catch me on the rebroadcast. It's all good. I love you anyway. Look, I don't care what y'all do. I'm always going to love you spiritually. Yes, I mean what I say. Now, check this out. little baby girl saved lives from her direct and indirect actions. I didn't say might have, I said she did. So let me give you the first situation. When I was living in Shadyside, a neighborhood in Pittsburgh, PA, in the state of Pennsylvania, in the country of the United States. When I was living there, hi everybody, Clank White, let's see. The President Josh. How you doing, President Josh? I like that one. Baby girl. Oh, quit messing me up. Yeah, she's right. It's Baby Girl. I'm sorry. That I had two cats named Baby Girl. Yeah, I call her original Baby Girl, but Baby Girl, when I was living there and we were living in Shadyside, there was this guy who he attempted to break into our house 4 different times. Yeah, 4 different times. So the first time he tried to break in, and this is all about cats. So those of you who hear me talking about something else, believe me, it's all about cats. So here's what's going down. I used to like watching this TV show in Pittsburgh, PA, that was around from 1962 or 1963 before I was born, all the way up to, I believe, 1983. And it was hosted by a gentleman named Bill Cardille. It was called Chiller Theater in Pittsburgh, PA. It was a campy horror movie, horror host type show, and it was fun. Well, at any rate, one night on a Saturday, we were watching Chiller Theater, and all of a sudden, Baby Girl, thanks for correcting me in that, Baby Girl started meowing. And when I would watch Chiller Theater, if I got any disturbance, I'm going to be honest, I got mad because that was my show. That was my binge show, even though they didn't have binge shows back in the day. But that was like, you just didn't mess with Al Torcaso when I was watching Chiller Theater. It just wasn't done. So all of a sudden, Baby Girl starts meowing. I'm like, can you please be quiet? And she wouldn't stop. And she just was like, meow, 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 meow. And then Baby Girl got a little bit more vocal, and it was a cross between a cry of, you need to get over here, and annoyance. It was kind of like, I'm not a cat. But it was sort of like, meow, meow, meow. Kind of almost a combo. Like she was sad, but annoyed. So I'm sitting there, and she just keeps meowing, and she was actually in the kitchen, and I was in the living room. So finally, I'm like, okay, I better find out what's going on. So I sneak into the kitchen. Now you might ask, why did I feel compelled to sneak in the kitchen? When she was meowing in the way that she was meowing, I knew something didn't seem right. And I just kind of felt like I better be careful. So when this happened, I was about 13 years old. I do not recommend you do what I had done. Don't do what I had done. Do not do this anywhere. Not at home, anywhere. This is what happened. So, Baby Girl's meowing. I sneak into the kitchen. I get this extraordinarily large butcher knife. That's what we called it. And I get it. Now, remember, I'm about 13 years old, guys and gals. And I get this knife, and I'm like, okay, what's wrong, Baby Girl? I look out the window, and there's this man trying to break into my house. Now, keep in mind, I'm 5'9". But I was not 5'9" at 13. I can assure you of that. So, I was mad. I'm talking nuclear bomb mad. This guy not only disturbed my show, he was trying to break into my house. Well, everything I said to this man was foul language. And I was not calm. I was vicious. You talk about a pit bull when it's mad, I was 5 pit bulls put together. No, I'm not all that in a bag of chips. All the glory goes to God. I'm just telling you the truth. So the weirdest thing that I had done. Now, the guy didn't break in. He attempted to. Well, I was so mad. He disturbed me. I opened up the door, let him come in, and I'm over there. I'm going to kill you, you. So I literally, this guy was tall. I basically yanked him into my house, told him I was going to kill him. Now, don't get me wrong. I have no idea how I had the strength. This was a man, and he had to be at least 6 feet tall. But at any rate, I don't even know what I did with the knife. To this day, I really don't know. But I ended up getting it again. So at any rate, I get this guy in here, and I'm like, I'm going to kill you. What do you think you're doing? This is back in the 80s. Actually, it was about 1979. This happened, I believe. No, 19. You don't know that because I was at 3 different places, actually. This happened about 1970. Let me see. I was living in Scranton. Yeah, she's right. About 1977. It was the first time I was sent away for no reason. At any rate, so I was roughly I was about 13 years old. This is a grown man, way taller than me. I pull him in, and I'm like, I'm going to kill you, and yada, 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 right? So because of baby girl, he didn't technically get in. I brought him in. So he gets in there, and he's trying to do stuff, and I don't know how I had the strength. The only way I could tell you is it was God. There's no way a kid can defeat a man without God. If you think there is, you're smoking something. I love you, but something ain't right. So because of baby girl, this guy did not get to rob us. Now, what happened on that particular day, that evening? Well, I ended up getting him and literally throwing him. I don't know how. It was God. It wasn't really me. I was a physical person, but it had to be God. Somehow I threw him over the porch and into my yard. How he didn't break his neck, I don't know. Even though he was doing wrong, God didn't let him get killed or hurt. So I threw him over the porch into the yard. I said, if you come back again, you're going to die. Remember, this is 1977. So a few months later, probably about a month and a half later, I was visiting my home again. And this jokester had to live somewhere in the neighborhood. He tries it again. So she starts meowing at the kitchen again. And I'm thinking, what's going on? So guess what I did? I got that knife out again. Yo, yeah, I did. I got this big knife out. The exact same one comes. No, wait a minute. It was even a larger one. It was kind of a flimsy looking one, but it was longer and it was sharp. So I get out the knife again and I go to the window. Sure enough, this guy's like trying to get into my back door, our back door. I said, not you again. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Shut your mouth. Yeah, that word. It was foul language. Okay, that's what it was. So, at any rate, this time I open the door and I go out there. Now, mind you, I could have been killed, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do what I did. So I go out there. I said, I'm going to have to kill you. I'm sorry, you're going to have to die. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 1977, that's what I said. So I told him, you have a couple of seconds or you die. This time, I really don't remember how he left. I don't know if I got him to leave or he left on his own because he was scared. Because I wasn't playing, guys. I was going to take this man out. And I don't mean for chicken. I was going to take him out. Keep in mind, I had a knife that could have taken anybody out in 1977. So he leaves. So a few months later, and by the way, this guy made two successful, well, technically successful attempts and two that failed. All of them was, well, let's see, three involved the cat, one didn't. Technically, one didn't. So, at any rate, he's gone. A few months later, I'm sleeping on what was called a sofa bed. Looked them up and came. I don't know if they still make them. But a sofa bed is a sofa that has a mattress that you can unfold. It's like a prop-up bed, if you will. And so I'm sleeping in the living room. It's early in the morning. And my mother turns on the light. Now, this was an overhead light. It was extremely bright. I want to say hi to everybody here. Looks like we have one named Trouble. The message was retracted. We have the president, President Josh. Okay, Josh, you the president? Well, then you better fix the economy then, Josh. I'm just messing with you, brother. But anyway, so my mom turns the light on and I'm sleeping. Now, I don't want to say that I can be cranky or crabby, but if I'm sleeping and you turn on the light, you could take me to Red Lobster because I ain't nothing but a crab. You could put me on a plate and have people pick at me because I ain't nothing but a crab. When I first wake up, I'm not really like that now, but I was angry. I'm like, shut the light off. So, so the guy had gotten in this time. And my mom says, the man's here. And I just woke up. I'm like, I don't care what man's here. Get him to blank out the house. Tell him, shut the light out. I was mad. She said, no, the man's here. I said, I don't care. Shut the light out. And then she said, and I caught it. She said, no, the man is here. And then I'm like, oh, the man. So I pop out of bed like Superman. Yeah, again, had to be God, wasn't me. I'm like, oh, you mean the mother blank, blum, 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 blum. So I get up, and he had gotten in. Now, this time, if you're under the age of 18, until I pick up the hand like this, you need to lower your audio. He was attempting to, I'm not even going to say the word, but it rhymes with the word. He was attempting to ape my sister, Diane. He wanted to ape her. Okay? I didn't want to say the word because there may be people under 18, but he was trying to ape my sister. And no offense to apes, the real animal, but it rhymes. So I get up, and this time, that man was real close to being killed. That was about 1978, actually. He was real close to being killed. So I got him out the third time. Now, I don't remember when he made the last attempt, but after that, I was just like, I'm not playing. So I don't recommend any of you do this. But back in 1978, let's just say that I had a firearm back in 1978. I literally went to my front door during the day, and I would do this periodically. I would yell out, "Hey, to the guy that keeps coming into my house, come back." And I would say something that was not G-rated, because I got something for you. So I was ready to do what I had to do. And even today, I will say this. I am a Christian, but I do believe in self-defense. And I've told the police, the actual real police, I told them years ago when somebody attempted to break in at our current home, I said to the police, I said, I'll take anybody comes in here, they're going to be like the Roach Motel. I'm going to take them out. I said to the police, I said, listen, if they come in, they're not getting out alive. That's what I told them. I said, I will kill them. You come into my house trying to hurt me or my family, you're going out. And the officer said, I don't blame you. Now, keep in mind, I believe in self-defense, but we don't kill people. We heal people. We love people. Okay? Now, that being said, let's get back to baby girl. So baby girl was a cat. Now, if you think what she had helped me to do to protect our home with this burglar guy and potential apist, yeah, I'm using a different word, you know what I mean, rhymes with the ape, potential apist, you think that was extraordinary? What happened a different time had me in shock, my whole family. We had a hamster, and they had their little complex. We had a male hamster, a little boy. So somehow one day he got out of his complex, and he ran into the living room. Well, we had a really old house. And apparently, we never noticed it, but there was a very small hole in our living room that went through and would have made the hamster fall to his death in the basement. So all of a sudden, baby girl, a cat, let's remember a cat, black and white and beautiful, by the way, starts meowing. And I'm like, oh, geez, she's meowing again. At first, I was like, can you be quiet? Because she was just like, meow, meow, meow. She wouldn't stop. Then I'm like, okay, sweetheart, I'm sorry. I told her. I go over there, and she's sitting and meowing. Here's what baby girl did. She saved the life of our hamster. She didn't kill the hamster. She saved the life of our hamster. She sat over this minute hole and prevented this hamster from falling through a hole to his death. Now, even when I tell you this now, I'm like, wow. I mean, that happened in probably about 1979 or so. And it's still pretty amazing to me. And not pretty, it is. So she was wide enough and large enough that it didn't affect her. It was a pretty small hole for a cat, of course, but not for him. He would have been dead. She keeps crying until we literally got the hamster, put the hamster back into his complex in the kitchen. Now, baby girl must have thought she was a mother. She certainly acted like one. She was a sweetheart. So after the incident, it was kind of funny because every time we would attempt to clean the complex, she'd be in that kitchen watching like, it's not happening again. I kid you not. That really happened. So baby girl prevented this guy from breaking in our house and saved the life of our hamster by letting us know that it had gotten out. That was baby girl. Now, fast forward to Ebony Midnight, a beautiful, handsome, all black cat. Ebony Midnight, Torcaso. Ebony Midnight was such a loyal, loving cat. Now, I get pretty emotional when I tell some of these stories, so I may end up stopping and ending the live, but I won't just abruptly end it. But I'm going to let you know, this is it. These are emotional. So I'm all right to a point, but when I talk about certain things, it is, even though it happened in the 80s, it's deep. So anyway, Ebony Midnight had gotten cancer or some disease that literally was taking part of his face off. Yes, I said off, coming off. And we did not have the money to get him the treatment he needed. And we took him to the vet, but that's another, I will share this with you. That's another live and or video. I am not too thrilled with a lot of veterinarians. Well, in any case, we took him to the vet multiple times. But because we didn't have 10 to 15 to 40,000, whatever it is, dollars for cancer treatment, Ebony couldn't get the treatment he needed. Now, keep in mind, this poor cat, I don't even really know if it was cancer because the vet never really told us. I don't even know if he knew. But his face was coming off, part of his face, his left side of his face. So one day, I'm lying on the sofa, and Ebony jumps up on my belly, and he starts crying. And I'm thinking he's getting ready to die. That's what I was thinking, because the poor animal was suffering, and believe me, it was hard on us. We didn't even have the money to get him put to sleep. Just so that you know, in many, many cases, I don't know if this is the case where you live, but in many cases, if you don't have the money, the vets won't even humanely put your animal to sleep. If you have a sick or injured animal, but you don't have the money, a lot of veterinarians will not even humanely put the animal to sleep and then bill you. They won't. I've had it happen. Situation with Ebony was one of those deals. We didn't have the money. They wouldn't do anything. I don't want to go on that ride because I will be challenged to not get upset. So I don't want to go on that ride. That's a roller coaster I'm not going on. Now, we didn't have the money to get him put to sleep. So Ebony jumps up on my belly and he's crying. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, and I love you. And his left side of his face was almost, like I said, it was messed up. But his right was perfectly fine. So I held him. I gave him kisses. I said, sweetheart, it's okay to die and all that. I'm going to miss you. And mind you, I was tearing up like you just don't know. I mean, I was, man, please. I was tearing, woman, please. I was tearing up. But I had a case of the flu or something. So I'm laying there and he comes up on my lap and what have you. And here, it turns out he wasn't dying. Not at that time. He had came up on my belly and he was crying. Are you ready for this one? Because he was worried about me. Here this cat is in this kind of condition, worried about me. All I had was the flu. Don't get me wrong, the flu can be deadly. But I wasn't dying. And he was worried about me. This is a cat, ladies and gentlemen, That people say cats are this, cats are that. No, you just don't know cats the way that we know cats. So he was crying about me. So at one point, I'm holding him, hugging him, and giving him kisses on his other good side of his face. I said, you're the one that is sick, sweetheart. I told him. I said, I love you, but you're the one that's sick. And he just was worried about me. Now, if I don't know about you, but if that doesn't show loyalty, then I don't know what does. And that was Ebony Midnight. Approximately a week later, he died. He actually died in my arms on the same sofa. I don't want to go there. I'm not too... That was in the 80s. He died in 1989. And it still upsets me because you would think that a veterinarian would actually have the decency to put your animal to sleep for you, whether you had the money or not, and they could bill you. That's not always the case. All that I'm going to say is not the case always. But at any rate, he was worried about me. So you might think, okay, that's 2 cats. You have any other incidents? Yeah, I do. Years later, we had little baby girl. And she was sick also. Had taken her to the vet. They didn't even know what was really wrong with her. They claimed the test didn't show that she had this, that, or the other. But at any rate, she's lying on the bed with us, or with me, about ready to die. This was, I don't know, about 5-10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. So at that point, I had been doing my television TV series, yes, live television show that I had done for 19 years. But when you're on public access, you don't earn money. You just don't. You can be the best talk show in the world and you don't get paid. So I was very angry and I was tearing up. And I was like, I'm giving everything up. I was telling my cat, little baby girl. And so I told her, I'm giving everything up. I'm giving up the TV series. I'm giving up the podcast. I'm giving up the blog. And I'm giving up YouTube and all that other stuff. Hold on 1 minute. And then can you get Rocky, please? Yeah. That's Rocky Bodine, one of our other cats. He wants his mother to give him some extra food. He has it, but he just likes to have abundance. And I love that too. So at any rate, I told baby girl, I said, listen, since I don't get paid for anything that I do, back then at least, I was ready to give everything up. The TV series, the podcast series, the YouTube, and the blog, and what have you. And I told her, I said, I'm just giving it up. I said, either I get a sign from you or that's it. Now, about a half hour before she actually died, she put her left front paw, I like to say hand, she put her left front paw into my hand that was also on the bed resting. She literally moved over the best she could and put her paw directly in my hand. She gave me a sign. And yeah, that stings right now. Oh, this is not easy. Trust me. But she did. And because of her, I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I'll say this, because of her, I'll never give up. I mean, this cat did that before she died. Literally 30 minutes before she died, she's like, no, Daddy, you can't. She didn't verbalize it, but that's for all intents and purposes. She told her human dad not to give up. Now, I was ready to go. I was ready to stop the TV series, the podcast, you name it. Because I was angry, depressed, angry, you name it. But from that day forward, I had a resolve that I have to this day, right this second actually, that I am doing what I'm doing. And through helping other people, I am going to change not just our economics, but with God's mighty help and people doing what they need to do. That would include you, by the way. With God's mighty help, I will see that not only myself, but many others will prosper financially. Because let me tell you, guys and gals, when you don't have the tool called money, lives are lost. The majority of our animals over the years died simply because of the lack of money. We have put out, since the 1980s, collectively for veterinarian care, I would guess over those years, probably at least 30 grand. Not all at once, obviously. But the bottom line is, you may go and take your animals to the vet, but you may not be able to get them treated. For example, if you have an animal that has cancer of any kind, it could get into the tens of thousands or more dollars. You don't have to believe me. Check it out yourself. So let me tell you something. Veterinarian care is extraordinarily high. And there was a TV series on the Animal Planet that really made me extraordinarily proud of the veterinarian that was on that TV series and his staff. They literally saved animals' lives without regard to money. If you didn't have it, they allowed you to pay them when you could. And in a lot of cases, they simply did not take your money. They saved your animals' lives. Unfortunately, I don't live in the state that he was in. I don't remember his last name, but he was Dr. Jeff. Dr. Jeff. He was on the Animal Planet. Don't remember the name of the series, but it was Dr. Jeff. And that man actually loved people and animals. He actually did. There was one episode where there was a homeless man. He gave this animal 100% free care and saved the animal's life. And I was like, when I was watching this, I was like, man, I wish I lived there. I think he lived in Colorado. Now, I hope he's still living because, ironically, Dr. Jeff got cancer. God willing, he's still alive. If any of you know who I mean, I want you to email me at this email address. I'm going to take it slowly. ACTOR that's actor AJ 2@gmail.com. I would like for you to do that for me if you don't mind. Get me the information on Dr. Jeff. I want to say hi to, I think that's it for the chat right now. Let me see if I can scroll up. Okay, that's about it. So let me, I'm sorry, you're going to have to see me up close. I'm not going to disrespect I love y'all. I don't disrespect my people. When I say my people, I mean it as you're my extended family. Whether you want to be or not, you got a Sicilian in Pittsburgh that can meow like a cat and has a chin that can make this noise. Let me get up real close. I know, sorry about this, but I'm going to be what it is. Now listen, guys and gals. Yeah, sorry about this, but you're kind of like now my family. And you think that meowing was wild. I could hiss for you too. That sounds like a cat. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a hiss, but not yet. Now I want you to hear this. I don't know if you can be able to hear it. I'm going to do my best. This is my real chin. This is really me doing this. Don't know if you can hear that. Yeah. Here's the funny part about all that. It doesn't hurt. Now, if I hit myself on the face, that's like, oh, no. I'm all good. Not going to be hitting my face, but this could do that all day. Doesn't hurt. Like I said, don't it feel bad? You got a Sicilian that considers you a friend. How you all doing over here? Hey, I'm Italian. I do silly stuff like that. It's not because I'm Italian, but because I like to have fun. Now, I did promise that I would hiss for you, but before I do that, I got to kind of give you the different cat-sounding voices. First, we have a sweetheart cat. Meow. Let me get a little something first. My throat's acting a little bit goofy. Get me some of my Live Good stuff. That's my combination Live Good drink right now. We're not going to get into the Live Good right now, but that's what it was. Let's see if I can do my meowing now. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, it's not coming out the way I want it, the way it normally does, because there's still something like, I guess not congestion, but there's something blocking it. Any rate, that was, kind of a sweetheart meow. Then this is a cat and kind of upset with you. Meow. 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 All right, now we're going to start off with our hissing. It gets progressively different. Well, let's just say it gets there. So this is our beginning hiss. That's Coco. Whenever I hiss, you might have heard him barking. He'll probably bark by the time I'm done. You'll probably hear Coco courageous. So let's cut to the chase. This is an all-out hiss. Now, just before I do this, I was in a play, a theatrical production called Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat years ago. And it was performed live, obviously. And I had to do this hissing, and it was vicious sounding. And literally, I must have done it pretty well, because some people literally left and went in the hall for a little bit. And later they said, "You scared me with that hiss." I said, "Oh, come on. It was just a little old hiss." And she looks at me and she said, "It was little and it got me." So I'm not saying I'm all that in a cat or a bag of chips, because all the glory goes to God, but and it's no but. I'm just saying she literally left. It was hilarious. She was like, her and a couple other people were like, "No, that's too intense for me." So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to give you a hiss, and then I'm going to try to recreate the extreme hissing that I had done in this play. Now, be warned, it's intense, so get ready for it. This is just a normal, really angry cat that's hissing. This one's the easy one. Okay, that was regular, normal hissing. Now, that was Child's Play. Not the movie, by the way, with Chucky. Not the series of movies or the TV series, but that was Child's Play. This is what actually, I believe, scared the woman. And Coco may decide to voice his disapproval. This actually happened in a play that I had done at the Vintage Senior Citizen Center a number of years ago. Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat. And I had to hiss. And it was a wild, sort of depressing and vicious hiss. So in the play, you hear the cat meowing originally, and then like a sad meow, and then mean, and then outright freaky. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna use that word, sorry about that, but different. So I'm gonna give you the most intense. Now that was years ago, and I said my voice is acting up a little bit, my throat, whatever. But I'm gonna do my best, so get ready for some hissing. Can't quite get it to where I was because of what's going on. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I did that in the live play. This woman got out, literally flew out of there. Well, not flew, but got out. Now, Coco came in. Hold up a minute. Hey, bring Coco and put him on my lap. I want them to see. He's like, why are you hissing? Okay, Coco. Mama, you'll get. I can't pick you up. I can't pick you up. What? Good part. Come on. Hurry up and that Coco gotta get over here. He's like, why are you hissing, Dad? It's okay, Coco. I know. Honey, I know. I was see the people. Well, you can't see them. It's because of them. There's Coco. There you are. All right. Yeah, I told you he might get upset. It's like, why are you hissing? The kids aren't even doing anything. It's all right. He's a sweetheart. So I scared the audience with my hissing, and it was more intense than I was able to perform now because whatever's going on with my vocal cord or whatever, just, mucus or whatever it is. So any rate, I told you about Original Baby Girl, told you about Ebony Midnight and Little Baby Girl. Well, I didn't have any other heroic cats, but I did have another cat, the late Mickey Bodine Torcaso. Now, what was funny about Mickey Bodine Torcaso was that everybody loved Mickey Bodine. And so one day we had a service repair person. And Mickey Bodine was walking around in the house. So the guy tells me, oh, you have cats? Says to me, I said, yeah. He said, well, keep it away from me. I hate cats. Okay. So we're like trying to keep Mickey away from him. And sure enough, Mickey Bodine goes up to this guy. He goes down in the basement because the guy had to work in our basement. So the guy goes down to do the work in the basement. Mickey Bodine goes down to the basement. I follow Mickey Bodine, and I'm getting ready to bring Mickey upstairs. By then, Mickey Bodine went to the guy that hates cats. Now, this is really hilarious. Fun, maybe not to you, but it was to me. I go to pick up Mickey Bodine. Remember, the guy said he hates cats. Remember that. So I go to pick up Mickey Bodine, and the guy yells at me and says, leave him go. I'm like, what? I said, I'm bringing him up. You hate cats. He says, yeah, I hate cats, but not him. Leave him go. He says to me, yeah, he hates cats, but not him. Leave him go. He yelled at me. I'm like, what? It was hilarious. But the funniest thing was we had other people who claimed to hate cats. And they were like, I don't really like cats, but I like Mickey Bodine. And then I had one gentleman that moved to another state, and he's like, I'm going to take Mickey Bodine. I'm going to kidnap him. I said, oh, no, you ain't. But yeah, that happened. That really happened. And Mickey Bodine was a very unique cat in as much as his personality was just so loving. And I guess, to be quite honest with you, even if you didn't like cats, the way he was made you want to be around him. And this guy really, he kind of shocked me because this guy was a tough looking guy. And he was like, he, he was like not too pleased when I started to get Mickey, but it was wonderful. And he just kept petting him. And even before he left, he said, I'm going to get me another pet. And I said, go ahead, get all the pets you want. I want to share something very important with you about cats now. If you have thought that cats are not as affectionate as dogs, that they're not as loyal as dogs, that they're not heroes like many dogs, you would not be 100% informed. Now, we're here on YouTube. I want you to look at cats that were heroes. And of course, some of you may remember, I can't tell you how many years ago, but there was a cat that literally saved a child from being attacked and harmed from a dog. There are other cats that have done other amazing things. There are even cats that saved their owners' lives because they detected illness or what have you. And you can look it up here on YouTube. There are cats that are as loyal as any other animal on the planet and loving. So before I go, understand this, my friends. If you treat your animals with love, it could be what's the word I'm looking for? It's a type of a lizard. I'm trying to think. Jiminy crickets. A chameleon. It could be a chameleon. It could be a snake. It could be anything. It could be a rabbit. If you treat your animals and other humans with love, you're going to get love. If you have a pit bull and you treat that pit bull or Rottweiler or German Shepherd or Doberman or Mastiff or Chihuahua, it doesn't matter what the breed or the animal is. They're going to love you in most cases. They're going to protect you to the best of their ability. Yeah. I love all animals. Cats, dogs. I've even pet wild animals. Yeah, been there, done that. You might be like, okay, like what? Well, before I started the TV series, I used to be in a lot of movies. And again, all the glory goes to God. Anything I've done in my life was a blessing from God and a gift. I was on a movie that was a horror movie, and it was called Two Evil Eyes. George Romero was one of the directors, and the other Italian gentleman was the other director. I don't remember his name, but the movie was Two Evil Eyes. There's a medieval scene in one of the movies. It was like a combination, multiple chapters type of movie kind of thing. So there was a medieval scene. In this medieval scene, or medieval, however you want to pronounce it, there was multiple live animals, people that owned them, people that trained them. One of the animals was a red-tailed hawk. Another one was a gigantic snake. I don't remember if it was a boa constrictor, whatever it was gigantic. I'm talking, it covered the woman's almost all of her body. And of course, there were horses also. Well, I was able to pet the snake and the hawk. Don't remember if I pet the horse. I definitely pet the snake and the hawk. And you know what? It was cool. It was wonderful. Now the hawk, You don't want to mess with a hawk. If they get their claws on you, it's lights out. And they can tear you up. Yeah, powerful. So they had to have these very specialized type of gloves. I'm talking very thick. You've probably seen them, when you look at zoos or whatever, or on TV. But yeah, I got a chance to pet the hawk. Only in the place where he couldn't reach me, I might add. I was like, oh no, I'm good. Brother ain't crazy. I played crazy in the movies. This brother ain't crazy. And even if I meow on the live, I'm not crazy. I just played it on TV or on the live. But at any rate, and as far as the snake, that was a lot of fun. The snake was a sweetheart. Wouldn't want it around me though. It was gigantic. At any rate, in closing, if you've never had a cat in your life, go to a place where you can pet a cat. Maybe become friends with a cat or cats. Love all animals. Because the more love you have in your life for humans and animals, you're going to be all right. You're going to do fantastic. But in closing, with regards to why I've been pushing Live Good, don't worry, it's not an infomercial. It comes down to you. You see, I want you to be able to have enough of the tool called money to never experience a human or an animal dying because of lack of money for their health care and treatment. What we have to understand is, unfortunately, on this planet, money is the owner of this planet in a lot of ways. God's the owner, but humans think that money is. So when you don't have money, your parents can die. You can die. Everybody you love can die when you don't have money. If they get an illness, an accident, whatever. And people go homeless, and people go hungry. And we all know what the deal is. So, how does that affect Live Good? I mean, not affecting, but how does that have anything to do with this company? Everything. Live Good is an extraordinary experience. I'm not here to promote it. I'm just telling you. Because of Live Good, there are people on this planet who could not buy groceries except for very little in the Philippines and all over many different countries. But this particular person lived in the Philippines. And he or somebody videotaped him going shopping. He started doing very well in Live Good as an affiliate. So somebody filmed him going to the grocery store. And he was able to buy bags of food. He never was able to do that before. It was so emotional that there were people with tears in their eyes that was watching the video. If I can ever get a hold of that video, you better believe it's going to be on my channel. So what does all that mean to you? It simply means this. I'm not God. I'm not all that in a bag of chips. I'm just a regular, normal man. But with God's mighty help, even if you're an atheist, with God's mighty help, if you decide to get into Live Good, or for that matter, any business, and you take it seriously, you have the potential to change your life. Now, what is my motivation for you and me? But what is it for you? Why am I slamming the ball real hard on the ground or dropping the mic, a mic drop? Why? I have experienced being paid from Live Good. And let me tell you, friends, it feels great. But this is not an infomercial. All that I ask of you is this. In other videos, I mentioned the link to a 5-minute free tour. 5 minutes of your life. That's it, 5 minutes. And I suggest that for $9.95, you at least become a member. Now, you might be wondering, well, why is that? I'm not going to get into it on this live because this is not the live for that. You can go to my channel. You can learn. But if you do not get into Live Good now, I want you to know you will eventually be in Live Good as a retail customer, a member, and or an affiliate. I'm not saying it because I'm being bossy. No, I'm saying it because this company is going to change lives of almost anybody you know. We are going to be a competitor, I believe, of Amazon. Because we eventually are going to be able to get just about anything and everything, just like Amazon. And the affiliates that bring in other members are going to earn money for that. And the affiliates who bring in other affiliates are going to earn money for that. Now, when you buy whatever you buy and get the discounts you get at Amazon or anywhere else on the planet, you're not getting paid in most cases. You're not getting money. You could save money, but you're not going to earn money. Therein lies the difference. If you're an affiliate and if you share the 5-minute video and people get in as an affiliate or as a member, you earn money. That's the difference. So, why am I pushing it? Because I don't want you to experience the things that I've experienced and the things that I've seen so many people experience. I don't ever want you to, if you never had it yet, I hope you never get it. I don't want you to go hungry. I don't want you to be homeless. I want you to be able to go into any store potentially and get everything you need. Now, I can't guarantee it's going to happen because I'm not God. But I can guarantee I'm going to keep pushing. And so for the people who come in here, I appreciate you. Believe me, I love you. But I'm never going to stand down. I will not stand down ever. I've been threatened with death and I didn't stand down. I'm not standing down. No, not in reference to Live Good. No. Let me be clear. No, nobody's ever threatened me about that. No. I'm talking about when I was on my TV series. And there's a good reason why they did. I called for the end of the Republican Party in America. And I said the Democrats are on life support in America. Yeah, I picked on both sides because both sides did wrong. Period. That's all I'm going to say. Every word that you heard today, I, Albert Torcaso, is the only one responsible. Nothing that I said has anything to do with Live Good or any other agency or whatever. What I say came from Albert Torcaso. I said it and I meant it. And I would say it again. That being said, in closing, I won't stand down when it comes to your life. I'll get on your last nerve so much so you'll go to the nearest hospital and be like, I need a new set of nerves because this guy done got on my last one. Why? Because you may not be able to comprehend this. I don't mean that in a condescending way. But what you have to get at some point, I want you to really absorb this. I'm not like anybody you probably ever met. I really want you to walk into that store one day, God willing, walk in whatever store it is or online and get what you need. What you need. Until that day that happens, you need to be as tough as nails about you claiming and receiving your abundance. You deserve your abundance. You might notice I'm getting kind of passionate. Oh, you haven't seen anything. I deliberately don't get as fired up and ready to go as I could. You want to talk about getting personal? Well, I'm going to get personal before I go. You may not realize how important you are to me. You might be like, wow, I don't understand that. You don't have to. But make no mistake. Your life matters. When I was on TV, in closing, on Humanity Matters Live, you know what I had done? I called out the gangsters of the world. The gangsters, the gangs. Yes, I did. And what did I say? I said, listen, I would like for you to use your skills to help people. Stop the criminal activities. You have genius in you. And I said, if you're a former gang member and you want to make a change, I'd love for you to be on my team. I said it on Humanity Matters Live. I wish I knew the episodes, because you better believe I would get a clip and I would put it on my YouTube again. Now, a lot of people be like, why would you want gang members on your team? Because there are a lot of good gang members out there who are just, for whatever reason, doing what they shouldn't be doing. Okay? I'm not going to condemn them. Their actions, yes. But I'm not going to reject them. Their actions, yes. You don't kill, you don't steal, you don't sell drugs and everything else. That's wrong. You need to stop that, yes. But there is a redeeming quality in almost every living human being. Now, it's no secret. There's certain people on the planet I'm not in love with, their actions, but I still love them. Big difference. So in closing, yeah, I went there. See, your life means something. And I know that you might be going through some stuff. You want to talk about going through stuff? How would you like to see your dad get killed at the age of 12 years old, flown up in the air, land on his head, and his brains fall out partially? And it's all bloody, as red as my shirt. I ain't trying to gross you out, but that's a reality that I actually lived through from a drunk driver. So I've had the pain. So don't try to come at me talking about you don't know what life is like. Oh, I know what it's like. I love you. We're going to make those changes, guys and gals. In my world, women have equality. In my world, everybody does. So I love you. Get out there and pet a cat or dog or whatever it is. Just don't get hurt. Don't try to pet a lion now. Don't do anything silly now. Don't pet a lion unless the lion likes you. But pet an animal. Give your family members a hug. I know you're like too cool for that. I don't care. Do it anyway. And tell them some guy with a comb over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania asked me to do it. Go ahead, tell them that Al Torcaso said to give them a hug. It's all good. Now, I got a job for you before I go. And this is non-negotiable. You are to remember that you matter. You understand me? Don't get me upset now. Y'all wouldn't like it when I'm growly. Nah, I'm kidding. And please remember that everything I've said is true, but I'm just a messenger. All the glory goes to God. Look, I don't know why I am this way, but I thank God for it. I'm going to leave you with this last thing. Every single breath you take means something. Live every second. And don't let a job or anybody on the face of the earth stop you from enjoying your life. Yeah. Is that a little deep? Oh, yeah. I love you. And so much so, 412-559-2731. Now, guys and gals, I'm still working out some of the issues I've had with doing my YouTube lives. One of them is the chat client and a few other things. I'm working on it. But make no mistake, I will not retreat. And I'm not going to stop doing what I do because you matter too much. Love all of you. Oh, by the way, I will have other locations that I'm shooting at different times when I'm able to. But I love all of you. 412-559-2731. 412-559-2731.